Okay, this video we're going to go over how to set up the Power Trader Tradingview indicator that we put out this weekend. So I'll go over the setups, the different options you have for setting it up on your charting. Now there's no way to actually optimize it. Someone asked me the other day, how do we optimize it? It's already been optimized. So it gives buy and sell signals, also gives 1 hour reverse signals, which means that the trend is possibly changing. So basically, you can change the settings on the charts, how you want to view that. Okay. So let me get into our charting and switch a few things around. Okay, so I'm going to pull up Bitcoin here. You see I've got 4 charts, nothing on the charts. Because I'm going to show you, one, how to set it up, but also how to set it up on multiple charts. So basically, you're going to go to Indicators. You're going to click on Invite Only. You'll see Power Trader version 16. You'll put that on the chart. This is kind of how it looks out of the box. Okay, so you'll see 2 bottom bars, which the bottom bars are 4-hour trend direction. Next one up from it is a 1-hour trend direction. And then the arrows that pop up on the green on the bottom, red on top, that's our 15-minute trend direction. Okay, and then we're trading on a 3. So this is how it comes out of the box. The green shaded area is to mark your session. Okay. Right now, you'll see that the only signals you get are within the session time frame. Okay. So if you have sessions turned on, and whether you got the background or not, and I'll show you how to shut that off, whether you have the background or not on, it doesn't matter. But the signals will only show during the sessions. Okay, and I'll show you how to overwrite that if you want to. So first of all, a lot of people may not want to see the session background. Okay, so I'll go into the settings, and to turn off the colors of the session background, because you will have a background for the New York session, the London session, the Asian session. You can easily just click these boxes right here. And you'll see once I click this one for New York, it closed off that session background. Okay. So if you want them on, you can leave it on. If you want them off, you can leave it off. Okay. The other is if you want the signals to show all the time, the buy, sell, and reverse signals, do you want them to show just all the time, 24 hours? Or do you just want them to show during a session? So the sessions are in here already: New York, London, Asian. All you have to do is click on the sessions for Asian and London, and then the signals will start coming on those sessions. So if you don't want them on, if you don't trade Asian, don't trade London, you don't necessarily need to look at it, or you don't want those alerts coming to your phone or your computer, then you would just uncheck those. So by default, they're unchecked. And that's just because I normally don't trade those sessions, but you can turn those on easily. This is for New York. You'll notice that as I toggle that these will come off there. Okay, so there's no signals shown. So we want to have the signals on New York, at least, if you're trading New York session. Now, if you want to override these sessions, and you want to, instead of having all 3, because if you have all 3 of these ticked on, there's still time spans that are outside of these trading sessions that you won't see the signals. So if you happen to just, hey, I want to see these 24 hours a day. I want to see what they look like 24 hours. Keep the Asian and London session unchecked. What you're going to do is change the times in the New York session. And what I do is basically put zeros up in here, and then you're going to come down here and put 23, and in the minute, that's the hour, in the minute put 59. Okay, so again, 0, 0 for the start time, end time, hours would be 23, minutes would be 59. Once you do that, you'll see other signals actually are on the chart, and it's basically then a 24-hour day time span. Okay, so that that just covers how to remove the background. And again, you can toggle that on and off as you want. Some people don't like to see it when they trade, some do. So again, that's just a quick click of the button. Now, right now, since I have New York session covering the whole 24 hours a day, if you click the background on, it's going to be on there 24 hours a day. So it's kind of useless at that point. Okay. So that's how you set your times and the background. Okay, now we're going to get into the different settings as far as the charts and what they look like. This is just going to be a personal preference based on you, how you like to see the charts. Originally, when this started out, way back when in Forex, we had all three indicators on the bottom. They were actually three separate indicators. We had a 4-hour, 1 hour, and of course the 15-minute all on the bottom. Okay, you can do that here. So it's going to be up to your choice how you set them up. So this out of the box right here is option 1. You have the 4-hour, the 1 hour as circles on the bottom of the screen, and then the 15-minute comes up as arrows, upper and lower arrows for buy or sell. Okay, and then what happens is when the 1 hour and 4 hour are already green, and then the 15-minute turns back green, you're going to get a buy. Okay, same thing. It's red in here, the 15 minutes red up here, and then when it turns green again, you get a buy. So that's how it works. So this is one option. This is your screen option 1. Okay, so let's go back into settings. We're going to go into inputs, and we're going to scroll down a little bit. So you have a box right here that says time frame 1 triangles instead of circles. Right now it's set up for triangles. The box is ticked. If you untick this box, you'll see that it goes to 3 lines of circles at the bottom. It takes the 15-minute time frame, which are these arrows, and it moves them down. Okay, so it moves it down the bottom. So you can have that. This is option 2. Option 2 would be to have all 3 time frames, 4-hour, 1 hour, and 15-minute on the lower part of the screen. Okay, then you don't have the arrows up here. It may be more of a distraction than anything else, the arrows. So this is something you guys have to look at and decide, how you want them set up. Okay. So other option is right here. This says use time frame 1. Okay. Time frame 1 is our 15-minute time frame. This says, if you notice, it's the color of the candles. So the color of the candles, do we want to use time frame 1 to color the candles? And again, time frame 1 is the circles down here. So if you click that, notice that it took the 15-minute circles off the bottom of the screen, and now the colors of the candles have changed. That is your 15-minute, even though you get up and down swings, right? Each one of these candles are all colored green, and then we have red here, because if we go back, that's what happened on the 15-minute time frame. Remember, the 15-minute time frames, the upper line of circles. So again, all of them are green in here. Okay, so all these circles are green, and then we get a few red here during this pullback, and then we get a few more red here during a pullback. So again, if we go to this and click this, we're actually coloring the candles the color of the 15-minute chart trend and what it's doing. So again, see how they're all green? Because down here, when we had the circles on the 15-minute time frame, they were all green. So this is just another look that you can have, and this is option 3. If you want to have the colors of the candles, that color of the 15-minute, instead of having it on the lower section. All right. Take it back off. In conjunction with what I just showed you, how we have out of the box, you have the 4 hour, 1 hour, and then the 15-minute triangles. If you just go from there and click this to use the 15-minute or time frame 1, which is our 15-minute, it will actually color the candles the color of the 15-minute, but we still have the arrows. So you can have both the arrows and the candles change the same color if you want. I feel that's kind of redundant. Either one or all. I played with both. I liked the arrows, but I like this right here to where the candles stay green if the 15 minutes green, and then the other would be the bottom. Probably my two favorites would be just have all three time frames on the bottom, or have the candles colored. Okay, so that's all you have to know to set up. We've got the time frames in here: 15 minutes, 60, and the 4 hour. You don't need to mess with those. If you want to experiment with other time frames, you can. But the three are set up for you to actually, if you want. So those are the settings on the indicator. It's pretty easy to set up. You really don't have to mess with any of this unless you don't want to see signals. So it has the buy and sell signals. It also has the 1 hour reverse, signals, and those pop up on your chart. So if you don't want to see the 1 hours, you could just tick those off if you don't. These I wouldn't mess with down here because these mess with how the indicators are set up, that they use circles on the bottom. So that's really all you have to know about setting it up. The other would be visibility. When I go out to a 4 hour chart, I don't want to see all these buy and sell signals. It gets cluttered. Okay, if I click over to 4 hour right now, you see all the buy and sell. And this is going to change down here because it's cramming all the information from a 4 hour and 1 hour in. So it's useless to try and trade this on a 4 hour unless you were to adjust them out. But take off my trading here, which should have already been off there, sorry. We basically have a ton of buy and sell signals. So to stop that, let me go back to a 3. Basically, come into your settings, all right? Click on visibility. Here's our inputs. We just went over the style, and then we have visibility. What I like to do is uncheck my hours, days. I basically uncheck everything. I've even unchecked ranges, unchecked ticks. I don't look at ticks, seconds, and ticks. So I only want to see the indicator if it's on the minute chart. And you can dial it down, because we have a 15-minute chart too. So if you peek out at the 15, just change this. Just change this to a 5-minute chart. Okay? So uncheck everything else on the minutes, have the 1 minute and 5 minute checked. And then what I would do after that, once you get this set up the way you want it, so now it's set up the way I want it, come in, hit default, and hit save as default is what I like to do. So now when we go back out to that 4 hour time frame, we don't see the indicator, right? Sorry, I had messy stuff on my chart, but we don't see that indicator. And you go down to a 1 hour, 15-minute, we don't see the indicator. Only when we pop down to the 5 do we see it. Even though we're on a 5, these buy and sell signals, they're all based on a 15-minute time frame. Okay, so it doesn't matter what time frame chart you look at, the indicator is all set up on the 15-minute, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour. Okay, the lower bars. All right, so now that we have it set up, we have this set up, we have it saved as a default, we have it, I have it set to where, we put the time in there. So we've come in and done a few things. Let me go back over. So we've come into the inputs. I've changed the session time in New York, 00:23:59. That covers a whole 24-hour span. That's just the way I'm using it right now, okay? And then we've unchecked this, the time frame 1 triangles instead of circles. I wanted the circles on the bottom, so I unchecked that. It's up to you guys what you want to do. Style, I just unchecked the background It's kind of useless again since I've got the New York session spanning the whole 24 hours. The only way I could do different is to change the time in the London over to New York session and pick the London style, and it would only show, from the U.S. market session. But I'm not really interested in having the background on mine. Okay, so that's all we do here is uncheck on the style. Visibility, go ahead and in minutes put 1 to 5, and then uncheck everything else. And then once you're done setting that up, then again, hit save as default. Okay, so now we're saved as default. We have it set on one chart only. I didn't know that people didn't know about this, but I kind of mentioned it earlier today. Instead of going through and setting this indicator up and doing that for each and every instrument you trade, all you have to do is right click on the chart and go apply these indicators to the entire layout. So anytime you're messing with any indicators, that's all you have to do. Set one up on one chart and hit apply to the entire layout. And then as you see, it applied the indicator to each and every one of the instruments I have. That's all you have to do. It's just, again, right click on the chart that you've set up and click apply these indicators to the entire layout. Okay. So other than that, that's the setting up of the indicator. You can set up alerts on the instruments you want to be alerted for. Okay. There's two things you can do. You can set up an alert list on your whole entire watch list. However, it has limitations. I don't know what happened. I had it set up for 4 alerts. I had a power trader buy, a sell, 1 hour reverse, for a buy and 1 hour reverse for a sell. But Tradingview decided they were going to change. It worked for 2 weeks. I set up the red list for 4 alerts, and it worked fine. Then today when I woke up, they only allow 2, and I'm on the premium. So they only allow 2 alerts for a watch list. So right now, the only thing I can do is set up the buy, and you'll see it says red list here, the buy on my red list, and this one, of course, is the sell on the red list. So you can take a list and then set up the power trader buy and sell. You can only do 2 on premium. Okay, so that's setting up for the whole entire list. I'm going to delete those and show you how to set them up on instruments, because you're probably not trading your whole entire list or want signaled on a list. So right now we have Bitcoin set up. I want to be alerted when Bitcoin signals a buy and sell and so on. So all you got to do is click alert. I'm going to come down and click in here where it says condition. I'm going to go to power trader. It defaults, it comes up to the first. So we have, you'll see buy, sell, retrace up, retrace down. So I'm going to leave it at buy, and I'm going to click once per bar close. Okay. It already comes in here and says power trader buy. So basically you're going to get an alert on your computer. Turn your sound up, you'll get an alert. All right. And it still will also pop up the buys and sells. So anytime you get a buy signal, the blue buy box, you're going to get, this will go off. All right. So that's our buy. We're going to hit create. You'll see it pop up over here. It's active now. So we're going to go in and do the same thing. We're going to do Bitcoin power trader. We're going to click sell once per bar. And that's created. So basically you're going to create each alert. If you want to know when the 1 hours signal that possible reversal, that it's retracing. So the 1 hour basically means that when it says retracing up down, it means the 1 hour time frame, the middle bar circles here have turned the opposite color of the 4 hour, which means it's retracing. which also means it could lead to a reversal. Doesn't mean it is, but it could lead to one. So it's kind of to give you that heads up. So we would hit retracing up once per bar and save that. And then the last would be the retracing down. Set it up the same once per bar. And you'll see that the signal, the alert, pops up a box on your screen, and it'll say retracing down or up. And as far as what we get this right here. We get the 1 hour signal on the screen. You'll get an alert now. So that's all 4 of them set up. All right. I'll go ahead and mention this as well. Basically now I can get alerts on Bitcoin. I don't have to really stare at the screen. I just make sure my volume's up, and I'll get an alert when something triggers. Now, right now I'm off market hours. Okay. Basically we're in the Asian session. So if you don't want to trade during the Asian session, you don't want to be alerted during the Asian session. And of course, when I go to sleep at night, I don't want my alerts going off. There's no need for my computer to have these alerts going off while I'm sleeping. If I have no intention of getting up and coming to the computer and trading. Okay, see, there's one on Bitcoin we just had, which is that retracing down. So the one thing to keep in mind is we saw this 1 hour reverse pop up, and you wait for a candle to close. Until the candle's closed, it's not a solid signal. Wait for that candle to close. Once the candle closed, because that signal said 1 hour reverse for a while during the candle. Well, we just had the candle just closed, okay? And we started a new candle. So once that candle closed, we got this down here in the lower right of the screen, where it says Bitcoin retracing down. Okay, that's how it works. I've got my sound turned down because I'm recording, or it would have played my trumpet sound. All right. So again, we'll be heading to bed here in a couple hours. All right. So there's no need for my computer to sit here with alerts going off all night while I'm sleeping, unless I've got the intention of getting up and coming to the computer and trading. And I don't. I'd rather sleep tonight than run back and forth to the computer or look at my cell phone. So what you can do is come in here and click on the 3 dots, and you'll see that you can pause all of them, and it'll verify. Do you want to pause all alerts? Yes, I do. So it just put them to sleep. It just paused all the alerts, and I'm good to go. I can walk away, go to sleep tonight. It's not going to run. Something else I like to do is clear my log. The log here shows you the alerts that go off. Now, I've just restarted the computer earlier before doing this, so the only thing we've had go off is that alert, that retracing down in Bitcoin. That's the only thing. What happens is throughout the day, you're going to get a lot of them in there. I just like clicking on log once a day, like after I trade. If I'm shutting down my alerts and I'm pausing these like this, well, once they're paused, I just come into the log and sweep them. Just click that little broom, and that just clears your log. That's just something I do. I don't know. So, because you'll get a bunch in there throughout the week. So right now they're paused. So in the morning, I come to the computer, whatever time, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, and all you have to do is click on the dots and then go restart all inactive. And that's going to verify again that you want to restart them, and then it turns them all on. So right now they're all on Bitcoin. So I only have them on Bitcoin. You're going to need to do that for each one of your instruments you trade, unfortunately. That's the way it works. The only other way we could do this was we could have had, like buy, sell, reverse all together, and you get one alert. And the alert, you would just have to come to the computer and have to look and see if it says buy or sell, or, well, I don't want to say it's useless, but I like to have details. So I'd like to know, what are you alerting me about? Well, there's a possible buy on Bitcoin or sell on Bitcoin, or there's a 1 hour, the 1 hour's changed the opposite color. So that's that reversal could turn into a trend change. Okay. That's why we have the 4 different signals. So unfortunately, you are going to have to go into each one. I'm going to have to click on oil and come into alert, and go in there. I'm not going to set them all up for it. Power trader, buy, only once, and boom. So it'll pop up here. There's my one for oil. Actually, it goes to the top. Sorry. So each new one pops to the top. And then I'll have to go through and set up all 4 for oil and each instrument you watch. Now, fortunately, a lot of you are not watching 6, 7, or 8 instruments, which I don't recommend anyways. So again, that's going to be the best way to set up the alerts. Again, they do have the option with the alerts to set up by watch list. And I don't have my watch. I'm in a different watch list right now than the red one. But you could set up by watch list. Okay. The only problem with that, again, is premium. You can only set up 2. I'm not even sure if you can set any up below that. So I'm not sure if that's going to be changed back or not. I don't know why they, again, I had watch list set up, and I had a buy, sell, reverse up, reverse down, just one of them set for a whole watch list of 8 instruments, and it worked fine the last couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden today, I go to turn it on, and it gives me an error saying that I can only do 2 now on premium instead of the 4 alerts. So today I ran it with just a buy and a sell, and that was it. So, and then I just watched for the 1 hour. So hope you like the video. This is how to, again, set up the indicator and set your alerts on it. So if you have any problems, just hit me up in Discord. I know today we kind of went through some of the settings. I shared some screenshots. I think I just went over everything for you. If you have any more questions, just don't be afraid to ask them in the Discord. All right. So I hope everybody has a great trading week. Good days. We'll be back on lives tomorrow and moving out. So everybody have a good evening. I will talk to you later.